So any spirits on this frequency, you can come and draw a picture if you like. And you can come and show something from the past. Look around here, the woods are absolutely amazing. Oh yeah, there we are. Look at that for a picture.
Oh.
That's a female with, it looks, well...
Looks like a king or a queen.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
That's a queen. What does that mean? Have they drawn you a picture?
Yeah, they drawn me a picture. I just requested one, and you know, it's... I don't know if that's someone suffering or what. I'll be able to, when it loads and saves it, I'll be able to bring it up, you know, in the video, and we can have a look at it better, but that's a good picture, that, if you ask me.
You found that funny thing.
Welcome to the Umbrella.
Yes, what's happening? Welcome to another video. So just getting ready to set off to Pendle, going back to Pendle Woods, not Pendle Woods, but we're going back to Pendle, but a different part this time. So I'm going to meet a lady called Dawn who does Walking with Witches, and she's going to show me a different part of Pendle. I don't know where I'm going, so I have to be guided by Dawn. Dawn's full of information, and she's like a walking encyclopedia when it comes to Pendle. So we'll meet Dawn. I think we're meeting some others as well. So this is going to be on one of the old witch trails that they used to take. So there's some hot spots here as well that Dawn was mentioning. So we'll see what we can do as far as like see what replies we get. It's a full moon as well, more or less. I think it's 97%. So we'll go down there and we'll see what we can capture. I don't really know what else to say apart from if you watched the last video, this is more or less a carry on as we're going back with Matthew. So Matthew will take us. This is his second outing ever. So his first outing ever was the last ever video, and I didn't really know Matthew before this. So you know, he was really he needed like a little bit of convincing as far as paranormal goes, but you know, once you start investing time in it, you start to realise it's real. So he's going to tackle us, so it'll be new for him as well, it'll be good for him, and it gives me a time to build relations in other places with other people, so when there's maybe events on that I can be a part of the events or whatever, give some YouTube coverage, I'm not quite sure, but either way that's all in the future and we'll deal with tonight. So we'll get cracking to Pendle, and I'll see you on the way there, shoot some stuff on the way there, and well, see what happens there.
Is that the strength of it?
No, not really, no. So she's obviously, we're going there tonight, we're going to meet her, and then what's it, we're going to, she's going to show us more of the area, because I only know the sculptural trail, me.
Right, okay.
So she's obviously going to tell us more. She's going to show us these witch trails that they used to be on. You know, like the trails that originally that was once used, and then she's going to show us the hot spots. And I think there's a group out there from what she's telling me, so we're going to see this group. We're going to meet someone else, I think, as well.
Right.
Alison as well, who we're going to meet. She's like the storyteller, so she's got like, she knows the story inside out. So she knows the story because from the original documents, they'll tell you the names when we get there, who the actual guy is. But then they're like the more or less the local guides on the place, and they've studied it for like over 20 years. So we'll meet them tonight. They'll be like, you can ask them questions probably like I want to ask them, and then I'll obviously get me equipment out. I think they've got equipment too, but I don't think they've got what I've got. But I'm not sure till I get there. And then yeah, we'll just see what happens. I don't really know much really what's going to happen, so we'll see what happens, I guess, when we get there.
I don't want her to ask me something. I think I don't know what you fucking know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you've already
said So Matt, you know, remember it's obviously your first time, weren't it? What do you remember after last time? What can you remember?
What do you mean? Remember about being up on the hill?
Yeah. What do you remember?
There's a lot of it come back to me. Things that have come back to me after the fact that I've re-examined and thought about again. I think particularly when we had the sounds on the floor when we both went up to the top part, you know, on demand more or less, that was the thing, because that's made me think about that, and the shuffling.
The shuffling,
That I can't. I've tried to rack my brains to like, what was I doing to do that?
Yeah.
I wasn't doing.
You weren't doing anything.
99% sure I wasn't doing anything. And I think again, just when we were walking back down again, I don't know the feeling when we closed everything, when we turned everything down, it was just I don't know, like I thought it was going to be one thing and it was another. So not an anticlimax by any means, but I'm glad that we got some interaction.
Yeah.
But I'm glad in the same token that it wasn't too much interaction.
So I think tonight's going to be like walk and talk. So like last time it was like sit down, do EVP, go to find a hotspot, do EVP. This will be a bit different tonight. It'll be like walk and talk, if you get me.
Yeah.
So we'll you know, it'll be different.
Don't expect me to be walking and talking. I'll be having a
So I think that's what's going to happen tonight. I'm assuming, but we'll see. I've got no idea where I'm going, so this is why I'll need like Dawn and Alison to show me, you know, what's what, and then you can come back if you want, you know, because we want to know where it'll be, if you get me. If we fancy it, it's just me and you, if you get me.
So
you know,
what?
We could always come back where it's just me and you and do if we find a good hotspot.
Right, yeah. Well, and again, depending on time and depending how much time they want with you, like I said, I don't know. It makes me nervous because that cat's going to get run over. I don't want it to do.
No, I don't either.
It's risky, isn't it, having it there?
So we've arrived. I don't know if you like my new torch. Hopefully it brightens things up. So she says cross the road and there should be a gate, yeah? Oh yeah, up there. They're up there, see? You see the torch up there? That's them. Honestly, it's dark. It's so dark around here. There's mad passageways to God knows where. Ready, pal?
Yeah.
One could assume it's this way. Unless that's blocked off. Yeah, it's blocked off that. It's back there. It's that left back there. You walk up here. Right, so I just want to say, like, I've got no idea, like, where I'm going to be going or what's going to happen or anything in this video. So we'll just go with the flow and see what happens. So the only place I know is Atkin Wood or the Sculptural Trail. It's the same place. It's just two different descriptions. But I've never been here, so like I say, I've got no idea where I am or anything really.
There you go.
Is that you, Don? Hopefully it's Sam. It might be someone. Might be someone else. So it's just Dawn and Alison on top of the. We're just waiting for us where the torches are. Alison's the storyteller, so she'll tell us the story. And obviously Dawn is like the group founder for Walking with Witches, where you can book and you can come on walks and stuff. Dawn, you alright? Very well, yeah. Oh yeah. I like them pants. Yeah, right.
Alison.
Alison, you alright? This is Matthew when he gets up the hill. Alright, which one?
When you're in Atkins Wood.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Hey, we're good. Husband subscribe.
Oh, has he? Right, thanks.
He's added you. Yeah.
Evening, you alright?
Yeah.
So-
Alright, Matthew.
Yes, I am, thank you. You?
Yeah. You're not killed, you're walking up that bloody hill.
I've got asthma.
That hill.
And
And this hill.
times a year it bothers me.
Summer.
Yeah, really badly. Then sometimes nothing.
Have you brought a drink?
We've got drinks, Tar.
Do you want to make camp here?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just take your lead. Just go off what you.
Never been up here?
Not this part, no. The only part I knew was Atkin Wood, so when we.
This is what old. Atkin Wood is pretty old, but not as old.
Yeah. So.
Get across to you tonight is. Just get me out. Because I'm going to show you something what you've not even noticed yet.
People will be coming back wanting to speak to you in a month's time. The spirit of you.
This Trackway,
Yeah.
there's only one house down there,
Right, okay.
and I believe that was Malkin Tower.
Right.
Right? Thomas Potts has put Demdike in this area.
Yeah.
In this immediate
So
area.
just tell us who Demdike is again.
She's the head witch.
Right, okay.
Right? She was the head witch. So I believe, this is only my theory, that was Demdike's place.
Yeah.
Right? So, where the lights are on that house just there,
Yeah.
that is where the mill was, where a daughter went to work.
Right, okay.
Right? And Baldwin didn't pay.
Elizabeth.
It was Elizabeth, wasn't it? He didn't pay Elizabeth her wages.
Right, okay.
And it was a week before Christmas, right? So Demdike's then, bearing in mind she's 80,
Yeah.
she's gone down to Baldwin
Uh-huh.
and kicked off,
Right.
right? Alison can tell the story.
Yeah.
So she kicked off because she didn't get paid.
No.
And then he's turned round and he's accused, said like, get off my land.
Yeah.
Called them witches.
Called them witches, bitches, or whatever. He's called them all sorts of names, right? But he didn't pay her. So what Demdike's gone and done, she's gone and done a few spells. And
Yeah.
then I think it was a year later, Baldwin's kid died, something like that. Right. So we're only talking about 200 metres away from this point.
Yeah.
Right? Now if we go through this gate.
Yep.
Right. And come through this
So.
gate. We're on a crossroad here, by the way.
Yeah.
So we're on an ancient trackway behind
So.
you where you've just walked up. But this is the original.
This is the ancient trackway, is it?
This is the ancient trackway, right? Now, if you go through that gate
Yep.
and go along there, it takes you up and over to New Church, and it brings you right outside, which is Galore,
Uh-huh.
right? if you go that way, it takes you to Barley.
Right.
If you go down that way, it takes you to Thorneyholme, and that's where the mill was.
Right. In Farnham, yeah.
Yeah, where Elizabeth worked. Right. So if you come along here. Now the bulls are in this field at the minute.
All right, yeah.
So I don't want too much light going on.
Yeah.
Obviously, because of the light. Watch where you walk, because there's quite a few.
Yeah.
Probably a pathway from Longage, Iron Time, Red Romans would have used
You could tell this is like almost like a Roman Anglo-Saxon era, you know, with the road.
Right, it's going to be correct because I'm not sure where the bulls are.
Are them bulls in there?
They're not here, are they? Right, so where's your bright torches?
Yeah.
So there,
Yeah.
you can see there's the 3 hawthorn trees.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's 3 trees.
When you see
One
the
sec. Hopefully you can see the trees.
right, so there's 3 hawthorn trees.
Yep.
When you see 3 hawthorn trees, that tells you that you're in the land of the fair. Right?
Yeah.
That's what Irish.
Now Demdike, see where it goes flat just there?
Mhm.
That is where Demdike would have been stood.
Yeah.
And then along here is the amphitheatre part where people would sit.
Yeah.
And they would congregate and listen to what Demdike's got to say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So in the story where it tells you that Demdike was by the stone pit
Uh huh.
talking to a devil,
Yeah.
Tibbs, I believe this was the stone pit, but it wasn't a stone pit, it was Demdike's amphitheatre.
Right. Okay.
Do you get me?
Yep.
So, did you
So we'll see what the box does, because obviously we'll get stuff from the past. Any
Don't forget
voices.
though, 1612, Catholicism were banned.
Right.
So they had
You
to
were
hide.
not allowed to have any kind of Catholic mass or anything like
Okay.
that. But if they were hard to persuade, they'd always been Catholic, hadn't they?
Yeah.
And this big change to Protestant, it was difficult for them.
But we don't know.
So they were like kind of undercover, and they used to do it privately so they won't get caught.
But we don't know if Demdike was a Catholic.
I'd put my money on it.
I don't know.
I would. I reckon she was Catholic because they were pretty hard right at the beginning. This round here, this area.
Join the bike.
Rome.
Join the bike.
This area.
Join the bike.
Romans didn't tend to like being round here because the Brigantes lived round here. They were pretty aggressive.
Mhm.
So it took a while for Catholicism to actually get over here. Christianity.
Do it.
Christianity.
Do it.
Took a while for Catholicism to actually get over here. Christianity.
Do it.
It's interesting.
It was the home of the Celts.
It's just a female voice I'm getting at the minute,
Yeah, we
which
will.
is interesting. You know, it's obviously if Demdike was a female, which we're assuming that she was.
It's nearly always females that come in here.
It's obviously female voices that I'm getting at the minute.
Right. Demdike, don't be scared. This is only Basil and it's Matthew. And they're here to not do any harm. They just come to say hello. And they're going to be with us quite regularly. So you'll get used to it. So if you want to come through, if you've got anything to say, please say it.
Good evening.
Good evening, it says.
Good evening.
So you'll get used to them. So if you want to come through, you've got anything to say, please say it. You.
Good evening, it says.
Good
That's good.
evening.
Thank you for that.
Do you want to come and talk to us? Do you want to come and talk to us?
That was a reaction to that question that you just asked.
Now they didn't speak to us straight away, did they? I mean, it took us a good 3 months, didn't it? To keep visiting here.
Yeah.
I mean, the If you can go off the EMF, which you can up here. EMF, which you can up here.
Yeah, I said yeah.
I tell you what, we do get a lot. Like
If you can go off the EMF, which you can up here.
Yeah, I said yeah.
I tell you what, we do get a lot. Like people, like spirits passing, because it's a tribe.
Yeah.
So
And it's
you get
ancient.
all different kind of feelings of
Taxi.
people going past you. Do you know what I mean? And people behind you. It's a bit eerie when you're up here, because it always feels like there's somebody.
Don't worry about that.
So she said, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about that.
It always feels like there's somebody.
Don't worry about that.
So she said, don't worry about it. You know, when you said it's a bit eerie. That
Not frightened.
yeah, yeah.
They don't scare you, but they did at the beginning. I was really scared about chemical, but I'm not now. It feels powering on.
If James is about, which he usually is round about this
Janet.
Starting ITC3.
Janet. It's Janet that usually comes through up here.
Yeah.
Janet. But might not necessarily be the witches, because there's been that many people around here since what? Early Neolithic?
Yeah.
Way before that.
I get what you're saying about that amphitheatre, that the shape of that.
It is.
Is that factual, that?
That's. I'd say it's for local folklore. Somebody's passed that information on to me. And I don't want to say who.
An old local.
No, don't know.
He said they used to preach, didn't they? Yeah. That's the exact word.
What this place was after obviously the witches had gone. Before they built the Methodist church down in Bali, the Methodists used to preach there on that.
So that's like your more modern K2 reader, so you get digital readout, so that'll go past 20 and it'll alert you to whatever.
Yeah.
You can segregate the energy as well, so into a digital format, so you can tell if it's. You take that to Chernobyl, somewhere that you go.
Yeah.
That's how advanced it is. So it'll talk to you about the radiation, the milligauss, stuff like that.
That's like Brett's,
That's
isn't
a bit. I've got Brett's in it.
Another.
I'm just gonna go down to the seat and get my stuff,
Yeah, sound.
which isn't a lot, but
You guys like?
You guys like. So I'm starting to get magnet anomalies.
do you want to come with me for a minute, Alison?
Are you alright?
And then they might pick something up.
Okay. There?
Yeah.
Hang on, it's flashing.
And then what we can do is take them a little bit further up towards the forest.
So is anyone on this frequency you want to communicate? You can come and give me some signs if you want.
Come closer.
Come closer. I can't. You need to come close to me. You need to come to me, please.
What is that?
It's my device, yeah, and you can come to my device and we can come and communicate with each other. You've probably not seen this device before. So we've got something called yes or no, yeah, and we can ask questions. And are you recording, Matt?
Yeah.
All right, sick. You can ask, and we can communicate through each other. Two at once. Press. We talked about the button. Nancy. Us. Yeah, there is us here, but we're hoping to speak to someone called Demdike, if that's possible.
No.
No. Why not?
You shouldn't be here.
Right, okay. Why is that? Zero. What are you talking about?
It's just doing a bit of everything.
So you can tell us a bit more about that?
No.
No? So I asked for Demdark and he said no. It was just a straight up, and then it was that trying to say
Shouldn't be.
you shouldn't be here. They were saying.
We shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Why shouldn't we be here?
So I think it was talking to me like as you left.
Oh, you shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Oh, you shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
All
Because
right.
I'm new in it, you know. You mentioned that before.
Because you've got a funny accent.
Yeah. Malicious? No, I'm not come here as malicious. No. We just, like I mentioned before, we're just there to communicate with you. Bible.
I haven't got a Bible.
I think it's talking about me.
No, but that. They would have had a Bible.
Yes, I thought so. Yeah, that's what I mean. I thought it was talking about me then, and that. So you can come and communicate though. There's no malicious. We're here to obviously just communicate back and forward.
How are you?
I'm all right. How are you? 5.
I love this Paratop wood he uses.
This one, yeah, it's really good. This one. So that's gone off now. It's just telling me there's nothing here. There's no spikes at this time.
Do you want to go a little bit up the track?
Can do. I'll just see what else we can get here.
Probably find it a bit more interesting.
Well, further third. Right. Okay. What used to happen here? Can you tell me? Wow, it's gone so quiet now.
Letter.
Letter.
Was that letter? Or
Yeah, letter. Yeah, like as if to say, you know, you might have exchanged information here. YouTube.
Red octagon. Red octagon. Red.
That's got emojis, so I can use emojis. So it's saying.
No.
It's obviously saying, yeah, that the it was like a restricted area or something where only certain people could come.
Yeah.
At some point.
We're in
Very
there.
restricted.
And
Yeah.
it's a Bible as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
So did he use the Bible in there?
You know what I mean? That's mad as well. Well, it said YouTube there.
Did it?
That's what I'm filming for, YouTube.
Does it keep all words that you've said and stuff?
So what I usually do is I usually take a last shot of when the session's finished, so I can like try and log it, you know, in a video.
That was mad. I was watching one of your videos tonight on YouTube,
Yeah.
and they said they called you Basil.
Oh,
didn't they?
Basil. Yeah.
And
So
then,
that's
afterwards they said Basil again. Didn't
yeah,
they?
yeah. So my name comes out quite often. Yeah. It comes through different devices, though. It's not just one. I mean, my forename's come out before, and it's like, how do you know my
I
forename?
meant it.
Oh, you meant it, did you?
I.
Did
Who's with us
you
now?
have anything like that they used to drink or celebrate anything here?
Probably mead,
Mead.
barley wine, wouldn't it? 'Cause everything was
Communion
barley.
wine, if they were doing Catholic.
Yeah.
They're using that as
Red wine.
No.
Yeah. No, not red wine.
Was it barley wine?
Benedictine.
Was
There's a reaction to that then when it said barley wine.
did he just say witches?
It said inches, and so I'm wondering if that's what I measured do, whatever it is, whiskey or whatever it is, maybe.
Benedictine. It's an out drink from round here.
Is
They
it?
had loads of Benedictine.
Yeah, I'm gonna say there was Benedict. What
Benny
is
and hot
it?
water.
Oh yeah, Benny and hot water.
I love Benny and hot
Yeah.
water. And it's quite a popular drink in Burnley area.
Mm.
Like, there's
Brought
more than one
across by
spirit, and
lots of Benny.
they're using the devices to speak through each other.
Are they?
Yeah.
Early.
So we'll move anyway. There's quite a few midges now. They're starting to crack onto us.
Scanning stopped.
It's never good when you're getting eaten alive.
It's like up here. We usually get
Slam.
information from other witches,
Slam.
don't we?
Drugs.
Stop us from getting bit. Right.
Drugs.
Let's ask Angela for some of that stuff.
Yes.
Yes.
And meets the Pendle waters.
Right.
But this water is that underground water, what we was talking
What he's talking about, yeah.
So I'm wondering whether they was using those channels
Yeah,
to channel to us.
yeah.
Do you get me?
Yeah, with the kinetic energy like you mentioned.
Yeah. So that was good that you got a spike.
Yeah. It was picking up some kind of residual activity back there. You know where that gate was?
Yeah. What when we first come through it?
Yeah.
Or the big one?
Yeah, the back.
Dykes one.
Yeah, the back there, yeah. I would have to get inside really, like, you know, inside that little small thingy that there was.
Well, I am going to ask him if we can. This is an interesting spot as well.
This is what, sorry?
Quite an active spot.
Is it?
Sometimes, yes. And what we've got here. Do you remember what I said about the poison farms?
Yeah.
So they start here. They go down into the forest, all the way around here.
Right.
And then when we come to the next gate, that's where all those red and white mushrooms are. So I think this was a sacred tree as well.
With his eyes.
Look at his eyes, it said.
Whose eyes?
I'm not quite sure, because there's obviously more than one. They're obviously speaking amongst themselves as well.
Oh, right, I see.
I could tell back there on the box.
Could you?
Mm.
Oh, that's Mullion done. I hope you stop smoking.
Looking at.
Looking, it says, and you were looking at the finger. That's
Mullion, did he use these?
it's just observing what you're doing.
Well, Dendark and
In terms of you.
Did he used all these things that are going around here in the potions and in the medicines and in the tinctures?
It was crazy that, because it said looking at you, and it went terms of whatever it said. It's terms of you or whatever it said.
Let me just get rid of the black cat out.
There's loads of. They'd have used all these herbs because they were here as well.
Yeah.
They weren't meant to. Not at all. And one thing they'd say when they made these curing these spells, they didn't say, oh, you're allergic to anything.
Yeah.
So they were given summer.
Yeah.
And sometimes it might have like, had a bit of an adverse effect. Because there is this hemlock and all sorts going down here. That's crazy. Oh, I've never touched anything like that.
So any spirits on this frequency, you can come and draw a picture if you like. And you can come and show something from the past. Look at it round here, the woods are absolutely amazing.
Some purple ones. Yeah. Red spotted ones.
Oh yeah, there we are. Look at that for a picture.
Oh,
That's a female with, it looks, well,
looks like a king or a queen.
yeah, it does, doesn't it?
That's a queen. What does that mean? Have they drawn you a picture?
Yeah, they drawn me a picture. I just requested one, and you know, I don't know if that's someone suffering or what. I'll be able to, when it loads and saves it, I'll be able to bring it up, you know, in the video, and we can have a look at it better. But that's a good picture, that, if you ask me.
Found it. You found that funny thing.
Yeah.
So is this a witch Demdike that's come through on Gorsia? Quite an interesting one because it came through on command. Do you want to communicate on this frequency? You can come and choose some words if you want.
Undecided.
Undecided. You can. It's all right. You know, we're not here to hurt you or anything. And we're encouraging you to come and communicate with us. And you can come and tell us like whatever you want. We're hoping to speak to some of the witches, maybe Demdike or Alice. There's 4 of us here. You can choose one of us if you like.
Home.
Home. Is this your home? Yeah. I'm just saying that this is a home.
Home.
Yeah.
It could be. Well, they just call it their own. We live down there, that's all. It's warm, it's all coming down. Getting spikes.
No magnet strikes, but there's replies, yeah, but they're not close by. Obviously, I think they're communicating from somewhere else. That's where my replies are coming from at the minute. But they're consistent with, you know, what the story is just back there with when I was saying about there was like limited access to that area, which is what you mentioned before. I'd have to go back and look at the footage now. And then obviously they were saying it's home here after I was asking if you want to come and communicate. And then they've got some intelligent stuff what you was doing before on the box when you was looking, and then it said on your terms or something.
Oh, yeah. You getting anything through here?
What's that there? What looks like a chair? Oh, it's just like, is that just a slab of concrete or something?
No, it's that they do like stuff, you know, for kids.
Oh, do they?
You know, them that have been little sods.
All right.
Like taking away at weekend.
Yeah.
Trying to rehabilitate.
Right.
With like archery and stuff.
Oh, in here?
Archery's mostly up there, but in here they do like, there's a fishery. I like that ghost cheese.
It's probably the best toolkit on the market at the minute.
Yeah, to say it's like, I mean, you can get it for now, can't you?
You can, but I'm a premium user, me, so I go for the full deal. So I pay like, what is it? It's about 15 quid a month or something. You can get it 50 quid a year. That's all of it, you know.
That's an interesting stone.
That's what I'm, yeah, I know. Well, I've only just noticed that. I've been up here that many times, I've not seen that.
Don't.
Sure, I just saw something over there.
Really dear. Seems to have gone really crap. It seems to have gone very bright.
These trees are awesome. Just nice and tall, and you know.
They're roughly about 120 years old.
Are they?
This
Yeah.
is the oldest forest part of
Yeah.
this area. Yeah.
I tell it's pretty old. There's a lot of bluebells growing around
Yeah.
there.
You can tell where they've like
This is that trench what I was telling you about, what's been dug out. And all the stuff now is along here.
yeah.
You know, it's odd. I'm going to say this now and after because I didn't want to say it at the time. You know, when we were walking up there and you said this spot, are you picking anything up? I could smell deers. You know, like deer, like really musky just there. And I thought, I won't say nothing.
Yeah.
I won't say nothing. And
Yeah.
then when you'd stop there, it's strange that you'd say, because I walked into it, I thought, because where I live, at the top where the reservoir is, there's a lot of deers and I can smell them a mile off. I've just, you know what I mean? And I thought, I can smell like a really musky smell. And
Yeah.
I thought, I put it down to it being a deer, but then when you said it was a bull, was it the
down
bull?
there.
Yeah, I could definitely smell something. It's weird.
there's quite-
deers though.
Where you said,
Yeah.
are you picking anything up here? I could smell. I don't, you know what I mean?
There is,
Jackie.
there
Jackie.
is, you get them jumping over this area anyway. It looks like there's a family of deer what come flying over this wall.
That's twice now. Who's on this frequency? You can come and identify yourself.
Gonna stop for a minute. You alright yet, Alex?
It's a handful, is it? Is that what you said?
Baked.
Yeah, baked, it said.
It said what?
Baked. Like, you know, that you cook or something.
All right.
I'm
Female again.
Going to do some cooking in the forest. That's weird, that, because just here, that's where they do the camping.
Really?
The kids do the camping.
No way.
They've actually got a kitchen just here.
Have they?
Yeah. So that's interesting, isn't it?
That's obviously they're being watched when they cook and stuff.
Yeah.
I'll be there all the time, won't
I'll
they?
show you the little kitchen what they do.
Beach is quite old.
Is that you? I don't know if you heard it. It was like, I'm sure it was from over there. It's probably nothing like, it's probably an animal or something.
I thought it was my foot.
Did you hear it behind you, or is it just me?
Yeah, to that side though.
Just you.
This area is where the little cooking thing is.
Oh, down there, yeah.
Oh, they do it, don't they?
Yeah, but it goes through it all.
Oh yeah.
I made a new one. I like to keep things as they are. With the wildlife. Now that's interesting. That's an interesting forest, that.
Is it?
Since it's been sold to the school.
Yeah.
We're not allowed in there.
Right.
It's great for his orchard. Is he sold in his orchard?
Yeah, I'll contact Craig and see if he's found out anything.
Yeah, more than likely.
Seriously.
You heard that clear as day, didn't you, that one?
Seriously.
Yeah.
Seriously, what are you doing up here?
Seriously. What time do you call it?
That's what's so good about when you're on a full moon, you get clear replies like that.
Honestly, when it's a full moon,
Yeah.
When you start looking at where that gate is,
Yeah.
where we stopped by,
Uh-huh.
the full moon is just there. It's huge.
Yeah. Sorry?
Are you going to come up on Monday?
Well, yeah, I'll obviously speak to Matthew and see if we can. I'm off work now till Thursday, so we can look at coming back.
Oh, shit.
You can tell how old them trees
just tell.
are.
What did he say?
You was about talking about that tree, yeah, and it went just tell, and you was telling like, you know, about the tree.
This one, it's nice. Is it? Yeah. Looks like it. It's dying. Look, listen.
Some heat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an ash.
That's
Oh,
Yeah.
no, it's dying. You know, it should really cut him down. It looks like that.
Patient.
Back over here, do they?
So they have like this sitting on the.
All right, yeah.
lawn,
Look at the fire here, yeah.
Then you've got the little campfire, and then there's a little kitchen there.
So can we go in there now?
No, because it's all private.
All right.
Oh, so there's where all the pots and pans are.
Yeah.
So they have little barbecues. And... So below is the fisheries.
Yeah.
But there's all cabins. We used to rent the cabins.
All right.
And do like paranormal stuff
Yeah.
down there. But since it was sold, we can't do that now because they're all classrooms.
That kind of Red Bull there, isn't it? Look. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
The kind of Red Bull's still on the table.
Oh God.
There's a Butterfly there, look. I don't think it's a white one.
Is it not a moth?
It's not a white one, it's not one I usually recognise.
What are them things that you usually see?
What?
I watched one of your videos, that thing that flew across, that wiggly thing.
Oh yeah, you were talking about when it was in the Rosendale tunnels.
No, it was up in Atkins Wood.
Oh, you're not can. All right, yeah.
That wiggly, squiggly thing, and it weren't an insect. Definitely was.
Is it the one there at the camera?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it kind of.
And then it growled after.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that was my second visit, I think, to Atkinwood, and then I've never experienced anything like that before.
And lights.
Yeah, the lights within the woods, and when you go there at night, you can see them.
Yeah.
You experienced them, didn't you, Matthew?
What's that?
When we was in Atkinwood, yeah, when we came last time, and there was them lights within the woods, and it was like a ball of light.
Yeah.
And then when you shine the laser pen at it, it moves.
Yeah. That I didn't know they were called that.
You know, I watched that and you were looking for that black dog.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. So I was under the assumption that there was something, the sculptures were rigged and that's what was making the activity.
No.
So I was trying to rule that out, you know, but these are the things that go through your mind when you go up there. You have all these mad thoughts that you have to go through the process of elimination.
Coming through when I was shouting at
yeah.
It said fairy.
Oh yeah, fairy, yeah.
If you go in them woods, there's a statue of a fairy. A big, it's like a. She's like a. I forgot what they call them. They're like fairies of the woods.
Boggarts. Yeah, I can smell it too. Yeah.
I can smell it about 10 yards
below. It's like whiff to her as well. It comes and then goes.
What is it?
But yeah,
it smells like death.
That fairy means boggart usually, and there's a boggart in there.
There were a boggart, yeah.
Yeah.
So you could bust that.
Is it smells like death?
Yeah.
No, do you know what? There's water somewhere. There's water running that's dirty. Can you hear it?
Yeah, but normally you don't get any of that smell. Cheap, isn't it, on the other side of the field?
It's definitely dead around there.
About there, yeah.
I'll have to tell Ian about it.
I don't think it's that little strange.
No, it's not. It won't give off that sort of smell.
It's probably a lamb what's been chopped, been had by a fox or something.
Yeah.
Definitely a death smell, that, innit?
You can smell it down wind though, do you know what I mean? That's why I don't think it was just a lamb.
What?
Because I smelled that 10 yards before, do you know? I could really smell that. I don't know if it was just
That was something dead.
The torches are playing up.
Are they?
Yeah. They're playing up all night, actually.
I've got a spare one in my pocket if you need one.
I'm going to take you to the next gate here.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're going to pick something up.
Yeah.
These are my favourite trees.
Are they?
Oh my god, yeah, they're beautiful. I'm just showing the camera up at that and just so this gate here, this is where I want you to do a bit of a...
Yeah.
If you can.
Yeah.
Um,
So tell me about the area, like what it is about this area, if you can, like just briefly. What the history tells us, or any kind of folklore.
This part, I don't know. We usually get a few spikes here, don't
Do you?
we? Now, the history of this, what I found out,
Yeah.
is to do with that. Do you remember what I told you the other night about that round moonstone?
All right. Yeah.
Right. So, where you came up to join this trackway,
Yeah.
there's a crossroad, isn't there?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And I said, if you go up there and walk along it, it'll bring you up to New Church.
Yeah.
Up there.
Uh-huh.
Right? But if you remember last night, I told you about a stone what me and Alison found.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
And it's the moon. We call it the moonstone.
The moonstone. Yeah.
It could be the sunstone, because at midday, the sun sits above, and it's just on. See that gap there? It's in the middle of that gap.
Yeah.
On the other side of the wall.
Right.
Which
Okay.
is the ancient trackway.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah. So the sun sits up there.
Yeah.
And I think that must be at least Bronze Age, and it's probably on top of a Neolithic site.
Right.
So that's the prehistory of this bit of this area.
Yeah.
Which is quite interesting.
Start.
So now,
Yeah.
We do normally get spikes here.
Yeah. Well, you're just saying start then, so you're saying start EVP session more or less. So it's just more or less you were saying like, I'd like you to do something here, and then they're asking me as well to do something here as well.
Right,
So.
that's good. Then they obviously they want to come
Yeah.
through then, don't
Yeah,
they?
yeah. But something has to be said more or less.
House.
Right.
House.
House. Whose house was it? Is it Demdike's house? See, all along here with Boothman's, these small farmsteads.
Yeah.
So, because there's a gate here, it could have been. If you look from Google Earth in the middle of this field, you'll see a square, like a Roman square.
Yeah.
But the Romans didn't get here.
Yeah.
So it could have been Saxon. I mean, they say the Romans didn't get here. What the hell is that?
It's a slug.
Is it a slug?
Beast, that, isn't it?
Bingen.
Oh, what?
Did you not bring your input tonight then, Ollie?
Yeah, it's at home. I buggered it up. As soon as it come out of the package,
Have you broke
it
it?
had a no, I've not broke it. I thought there were a button up front to it and the glasses on, so I stuck my finger in it and found out it with a light.
Let me try and get
Pushed it into it.
And pushed it in. Yeah, then I discovered the switch at the side. I never read instructions.
Give me some light on your face.
Powering on.
Why is it gone red? Shouldn't usually go red.
Starting ITC3.
That's spiking that already.
Is it?
Yeah, it's gone to red.
Brilliant.
It's flashing as well. That it shouldn't flash, and it shouldn't be on red straight away. Can you see it flashing?
Yeah.
And it's red at the top. It's never red at the top.
Not.
So what connection is is it a moonstone, or is it a sunstone, or is it both? Can you tell me that about the stone on the top of the hill there?
Can you tell us about the stone on top of the hill, please? We'd like to know more. Right, if you're on this frequency, yeah, I need you to come and communicate or give us a sign. So I'm hoping you can tell us about the moonstone, if that's alright.
I don't think I understand those.
They usually can't they? Off the K2.
You never know, they could be from a time, these spirits could be from a time before we spoke like
Yeah.
this. They might not understand us.
Danny Moss doesn't like K2s, does he?
So what this is saying is that it's saying like up there, more or less, what yours take. If you can see it there on the radar, and you was talking about the storm, weren't you?
Yeah.
So it's flashing, saying up there. Did you get me?
Oh, I see.
It never flashes red like that. Never. You know what I mean? It usually locks in and then it'll start beeping. But I've never had that before where it's red, and I've never seen this red stuff at the top here.
That's good.
Never experienced that at all.
What does that mean?
Not even at Atkin Woods.
No, nowhere.
That's interesting then, isn't it?
Yeah, for me, yeah, I've never had them two red dots ever since I've had this. I've had this for over 9 months now, and it's never done this.
Well, I know from. Oh my God! Look, there's the moonstone.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Good.
See, that's mad, that, because that's like fucking flashing. It's saying look over there, and it's more or less you mentioned about the moon.
Yeah.
Can you see that? Like how?
It's coming up
Just letting
to
us know.
full moon
Yeah.
on Monday, innit?
Yeah.
Oh, this is where we have to be then,
Yeah.
Blue moon.
innit?
It said home, and then it said something else as well. It said house or something.
It's a big moon as well.
That is a big moon. It's orange.
Sturgeon moon.
You see, now where I normally walk my dogs, where I've been tonight,
Yeah.
that's over the top of Hambledon, Great Hambledon.
It is,
So
yeah.
at some point, that's where the guys at World War One and World War Two trained the Accrington Pals.
Right. Yeah, Accrington Pals. Yeah.
And the moon, it sits right above where they trained.
Yeah.
And it's quite high up.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow, look at that.
Because my phone's not that brilliant at
It's
pictures.
going again. I feel like it was trying to show you.
I've
Yeah.
never seen the moon though.
Yeah.
I
It's
always
crazy
see it
that
down the
it's just
bottom.
starting to cover over
And
now.
that showing that red in that area.
Yeah.
Is that saying that it's how far geographically is it picking that up?
It's more or less saying like, look over there. There's something of interest over there, which we've now assumed is a moon, and it's kind of a red colour now. It's going away now.
Yeah.
And so is the moon.
Yeah.
That underneath that moon.
Right underneath that cloud.
That is bizarre.
And we've got it on camera.
Yeah.
That's too much of a coincidence. That is
That was
way
that was
too much
perfect
of a
synchronicity and timing. That where you said like more or less you talk about the gate, and then
And the moonstorm.
Yeah.
And that's
And
where
look.
the moon had come up and there it did it there.
The
And it
line's
wanted
still
us
there.
yeah, the
stay
lines are still
here.
there. Yeah,
That is
And
weird.
the red,
that.
still flashing away. Starting to move now over
There's
to the
no
left.
sinister feel up here though.
No, no.
is there? It doesn't feel.
do you know, that's really freaked me out.
Has it? Why?
I don't know, it's made me feel good.
Has it?
Because I was telling you about the moonstone.
Yeah.
Going back again.
I mean, the archaeologists would say, oh, no, it's a sunstone, but I'm sorry, but I've been up there. We've been up there, haven't we, at summer solstice
Yeah.
at midday, and that's where the
Colour.
sun is. But it also works with the moon.
The colour of it though.
Blind as that, where's the...
That's a big moon. It's super moon though, isn't it, on Monday? It's the biggest moon.
Oh my God, that is just really... It's not freaked me out.
Okay, bright. That's becoming now.
Yeah, no, look at that just within. Now you can actually see the cloud passing that, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. When can you ever do that? Actually,
Yeah.
see, you can see the clouds passing the sun, but
I have never noticed the moon at this gate.
There's magnetism coming through now.
I don't know if I've ever looked at it like that before. But yeah, like just to be able to clouds just literally moving across
If you
it.
wouldn't have known that were there about 5.
Has the
10
thing
minutes
gone
ago,
now?
The red markers, the red fingers. No,
That's bizarre.
Isn't it?
no, it's still there.
Owls.
It's beeping now. So that's the equivalent to a K2 reader going off that. So now you've got an audible cue now that you've got. Obviously, if you had a K2 now, it should be spiking.
Right, I see. The line's the moon's come back up now.
Red? Does it look like an orange colour?
Yeah, it is. I mean, the sky through the camera. It's like it's through the phone.
But it's not. It shouldn't be.
I tell you what, you can't get better than that, can you?
No,
Were you videoing it as
but
well?
yeah, I've had to turn that down because it's too loud.
No, I mean before, you know, when we was getting all that before we
Yeah.
were videoing it.
Yeah.
Good, because my camera's right. I mean, I've got a Samsung, but it's not. Do you know what I mean? It's an old one.
Yeah.
I can't touch it. It doesn't take at all when I take photos.
But yeah,
It's really difficult.
the REM pod's not gone off, has it?
No.
Oh,
You can come and touch this REM pod if you want, and it should just go off, and it'll beep, and it'll tell me like how strong that your presence is.
I've always felt something powerful just at this gate. Always. And that's what intrigued me, you know. I'm trying to think where I were. How did I find that stone?
So I've got to say, this is like pure synchronicity. This, I mean, I didn't, like I say, I didn't even know where I was going, and then to be led onto like the moon coming up through Pendle at this time, and for such a small period of time as well, we're ace. So for the last bit of the video, Alison's going to tell us the story as we walk back, and then I'm going to let the tube run to see what the tube says as she tells the story, because that's always a good experiment I like to try. Anyway, we'll crack on and we'll see what happens.
Walk along.
It's up to you, yeah, you can do, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Do you want me to put my hat on?
It's up to you.
Do you remember whereabouts we were where we could smell that dead
Yeah.
animal?
Further down in there.
Wouldn't it be odd if we can't smell it when we walk back?
Yeah. That would be weird.
Speak.
What bit of the story is?
So just basically,
Do you want the bit where
So,
Alison device? Alison device.
so I'll tell you what I know, and then you kind of know like the story.
If I just tell it you.
Yeah, go on then, yeah.
Alright. Well, you know, in 1612,
Yeah.
Catholicism were banned. Totally banned.
So this is obviously religion, yeah?
Can you hear?
King Henry VIII dissolved all the Catholic religion and the monasteries and ripped them all down, and
Yeah.
Catholicism was totally banned. Sent it all underground. And here, there were lots of Catholics.
Yeah.
I mean, we're surrounded by abbeys.
Uh-huh.
There's one at Sawley, there's one in Worley, there was one in Accrington. And
Blessed.
they pushed them underneath and underground. So they still did do the worshipping
Yeah.
and the Catholic masses and things like that, but not in public, or else it'd have been done. And around here there were two cunning women, for want of a better word.
Yep.
They're basically healers. They were local veterinary. They were
Smell that smell again.
Why?
You smell it? I got a whiff of it then.
Fire.
Fire.
no, I can't smell it now.
Go on, you were saying, yeah,
There were
but
two families, both competing for the same work.
yeah,
One families were called the Devices, or
Yeah.
Elizabeth Southern's old mother Demdike.
yeah,
She was the matriarch of the family. She was in her 80s, very blind. And the other family she was called Chattox.
yeah,
Her real name was Anne Whittle. And her daughter was called Redfern. And they lived quite close together.
yeah,
Very competitive, both competing for the same kind of work, for healing and just little basic spell work and little things like that.
uh-huh,
And they hated each other. And Demdike's family were made up of Elizabeth Device.
yep,
That was the daughter.
yeah.
And Elizabeth had 3 children. It was James, Alison, and Janet.
So Alison was Alice Nutter, is that right? Or,
No.
oh, right, okay.
No, Alison, she'd be about 16. She was the one that started it all.
Yeah,
And she'd have been walking down a path like this. They'd knelt, absolutely skint.
yeah,
They were beggars. with nothing.
Spirit.
And she'd have been walking down a path like this, off to Combe, doing her usual begging.
yeah.
And she came across a peddler called John Moore.
You know what was weird then when you were saying that? I said spirit, it's actually the spirit now, if you get me.
She probably is.
So, sorry, you were saying, go on.
And she encountered
Yeah, John Moore, yeah?
Law,
Oh, sorry, yeah, John Law.
and who came from Halifax. And he was selling his wares, probably going to Worley, was carrying on with his life. And Alison went up to him and asked if she could have some pins. Just anything, really,
Yeah,
that she could sell. She was always scrounging. So he refused.
Keep going.
keep going, she's saying, like, you know.
He refused. And he probably said some horrible things to her
Yeah,
as he refused. And she kind of lost it with him and started calling him names
Yeah.
and shouting at him. And she'd have got it all the time. Every time she went out, she'd have got it. Like, you just know with a beggar, sod off, skirt. And there's only so much of it you can take.
yeah,
And she really lost it. And she gave him a proper Lancashire gobful,
like you do.
like you do. And it caused him to kind of have like a mini convulsion or something like that. He's lost all control on the left-hand side of
So,
his body.
What we know as a stroke, yeah?
Oh yeah. But back then it wouldn't have been.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have known. He couldn't talk, his hand twisted, his body all twisted.
Yeah,
And fell off his horse. And she went running over to him. Like, what's happened? What's
yeah,
happened?
yeah,
You cursing at me. You witch.
yeah,
you've done this.
Uh-huh.
And now whether she thought that she had, I mean, her grandmother, she was a healer, she was a potion maker, she was a very supernatural time, and you know, and whether she thought she actually were a witch and that she'd done it,
Yeah.
I don't know, but it scared her, and she just ran home quick as she could, left him there. Well, after a couple of hours, somebody found him
Yeah.
and took him to the nearest pub, which was called Greyhound in Corn, and left him there for a couple of hours. He started getting a little bit better, started to regain his feeling in his hands and his face, started to go back. But they'd also sent word out to his son called Abraham,
Yeah.
and Abraham weren't right happy about the job. And he came over to see his dad, and he pressed his dad.
am in pain.
What did
It said I'm in pain.
He would
So
have
you
been
was
in
talking
pain.
about the guy, yeah, that was in pain, obviously. So
Yeah.
it's describing. But anyway, sorry, carry on what you were saying.
He were in pain. But he got over it, and he didn't want to press charges. He didn't want any trouble with torches.
That's weird, isn't it? So, sorry, you were saying.
Yeah, he didn't want any trouble. And he said, look, I don't want you to do anything. I forgive her. It was just, you know, she's just a kid.
Yeah.
She shouted some words at me, and, you know, I wasn't expecting it, because women back then didn't swear. They didn't do anything like that.
Uh-huh.
If you did out like that, you'd get your face put in one of these metal boxes.
Yeah.
No, it was proper, what do they call it, misogynistic times.
Yep.
Women were seen and not heard. Then the children. Straight on his own, like to read,
Yeah.
which is like the religious way.
Yep.
So a guy called Roger Noel, who was the sheriff of this area. There was a magistrate.
It was bounty hunting, weren't it? Yeah.
Who agreed he had lots and lots of land, but it still weren't enough. And then he argued with people from Great Orwood.
Okay.
What was that then?
Stop recording.
So he argued with people after their land, and they weren't nice that.
Yeah.
So he knew that James I was paranoid king. Roger Noel, who was the sheriff of this area. There was a magistrate.
It was bounty hunting, weren't it? Yeah.
Who agreed he had lots and lots of land, but it still weren't enough. I mean, he argued with people
Stop
from
recording.
Orwood.
Okay.
What was that then?
Stop recording.
People after their land, and he weren't a nice guy.
Yeah.
So he knew that James I was a paranoid king and terrified of witches, and it were a big thing, witch hunting back then. I mean, they'd made the Maleficarum, and a witch hunter's guide to witches, how to spot witches.
Yeah.
And it had just took the whole of England into chaos. So I was terrified of witches, and he knew this did no well. So he went straight to Malkin Tower, where the Demdike lived,
Yeah.
and the devices. And he hammered on the door and asked for Alison. Asked Alison, like, you know, what's been going on? What's happened?
Yeah.
He said, I'm arresting you on the suspicion of witchcraft. You've cursed the peddler John Moore, and he's suffered, and unfortunately we're going to arrest you for this. Well, Demdike would have created, because it was
Mary.
her granddaughter.
Yeah.
So she'd have obviously tried to defend the granddaughter. But Noel knew of her and her practices and her herbs, and, you know, that were all against the law. You weren't supposed to do that.
Yeah.
So he arrested them both and took them both to Lancaster Castle.
Yeah.
But being a small place round here, it's really cliquey. They're very, very cliquey in this area.
Mhm.
And everybody knows everybody, and everybody knows what everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
And word got out about Alison and her grandma being arrested and taken to Lancaster. People after their land, and they weren't nice that.
Yeah.
So he knew that James I was a paranoid king and terrified of witches, and it was a big thing, witch hunting back then. I mean, they'd made the Maleficarum, and a witch hunter's guide. Decided to all get together and have some kind of meeting to discuss what they were going to do and how they were going to do it. So they decided to hold a big meeting in a place called Malkin Tower, where the Demdike lived. But it weren't a tower. It
Yeah.
was nothing spectacular. It were a hovel. It were an half pit.
Yeah.
And They had the meeting, but they decided to hold it on Good Friday, which is a very, very Catholic time, Good Friday.
Yeah, yeah.
And usually, good Catholics will eat meat.
Mhm.
Well, not eat meat, sorry, eat fish on Good Friday.
Yeah.
Respect.
But James, the middle guy.
I like your story, by the way.
Thank
You're
you.
just saying respect.
James was sent to catch a sheep
Yeah.
and slaughter the sheep, and the sheep would have been eaten on Good Friday.
Yeah.
Which is a bit weird because Catholics don't eat meat on Good Friday, they only eat fish. I mean, my mum's a Catholic, she would never, they don't even eat fish on Friday. You know, so that were a bit odd.
Mhm.
So they had the little get together at Malkin Tower and they were discussing what had happened with Dyke and Alison and what they were going to do about it. And a few of the locals that were also shadow, like underneath Catholics, had gone to Malkin Tower as well. They were probably performing some kind of Catholic mass while they were there because everything was hush and
Yeah, yeah.
you weren't allowed to do that kind of thing. And they had the little mass and they had the get together and they were discussing what was going on, and the local farmer John Bullock and Jane Bullock came along to this meeting as well. And there was a Margaret Pearson from Padiham, she came along. And there were about 12, 15 of them all came along. But the little girl Janet was there. Now she was 12, was Janet.
Yeah.
And she was also Catholic, but she was born out of wedlock. So, which were a really bad thing to do back then. Out of wedlock and you're a Catholic in 1612, it weren't good.
Yeah.
So she was kind of shunned with little Janet. Nobody really cared about her. She was shoved out. She was, you know...
Rejected.
Yeah. Completely. And she felt it. And she sat at back and listened to them all talking. And they were joking, oh, we can blow up Lancaster Castle and get them out. And she just sat at the back, here we go.
I think they've just seen a first or something. So, sorry, I just overheard them what they were saying there. What were you saying? You seen a first or something?
On the tree?
Yeah, it's like a side view of a person that like...
Let's have a look. On a picture or?
Can you see that?
Look at that.
Can you see that?
All right, yeah.
Stand where I am.
Yeah.
I've just photographed it. Can you see that?
Where?
There, where I'm pointing the torch.
Oh, right there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, that lumpy thing?
Yeah,
that's
Can
horrible.
you see it?
It's like a side
Look
view
where
of
I am.
someone's face.
Look where I was
Look,
stood
you
here.
know, it's either like the back of someone's head, almost like a,
see
like
the
an
ear
a-
and
It
everything.
looks like an
a
egg.
baby or an alien type of thing, isn't it?
That's horrible.
Sorry, Alison, you were saying, yeah?
Right, they've gone to Malkin Tower.
Yeah.
You're a nightmare, you. They've gone to Malkin Tower and they were having this discussion and listening
I'm
to
not sure.
everything.
Mhm.
And the day after, being at Good Friday, Noel had been looking round the Protestant church and
Yeah.
discovered there were a few faces missing. Like Alice Nutter.
Yeah.
She went there. Neither were Elizabeth Southerns, neither was James. Sorry, not Elizabeth. Elizabeth Device. Neither was James Device. John Bullock weren't there, or his mum Jane. Well, I wonder where they'd all have been. So he put one and one together
Mhm.
and tried to find out where they'd been.
Yeah.
Then he discovered that they'd all been in Malkin, which didn't please him. Obviously, it was some kind of mass that they were having there.
Yeah.
And they're up to something.
Mhm.
So he went back to Malkin and he found little Janet outside. So he called her over and she came over and he took her to Reed Hall, where he lived just further down the road.
Mhm.
And she stayed there with him. I mean, obviously, his
Stop
grandma
recording.
and his sister
Yeah.
in Lancaster, they'd have more than likely been kind of grooming her,
Yeah.
whispering in her ear, and of all the people that were there and what were they discussing at Malkin Tower. Well, she just told him everything. She told him exactly who were there, what they were talking about, plots to blow up Lancaster Castle and then get the grandma out. And, you know, it hadn't been that long since bonfire night, since
Guy Fawkes, yeah, yeah.
And they were Catholics that tried to blow up Parliament then. So he was really paranoid with James I about anything
Yeah.
like that. So Noel couldn't wait to tell him what he found out. And under his instructions, he was told to arrest every one of those people that was in Malkin Tower. So that is exactly what he did. He went to the farm round there and he arrested Jane and John Bullock. and Alice Nutter's name was mentioned. Why she was there, nobody really knows, because she was quite a wealthy woman.
Yeah.
Where Alice, I think that he wanted a slice of her land because she was a big landowner. And obviously, a way to get the land was to accuse her of being a witch, hang her, and take it.
Very similar to what they did with the knights.
Oh, yeah. So, he did all this, arrested every single one of them, and took them down to Ashley House in Fence and interrogated them. Now, interrogating, in my eyes, if they thought they were witches, we tortured them.
Yeah, tortured them, yeah.
So they'd have said anything.
Yeah.
Anything to make that pain stop.
They made a confession under torture, didn't they?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Some people said that they weren't tortured, but why did they not torture the Pendle witches?
Yeah.
They tortured every other
Yeah,
one.
exactly, yeah.
You know, I mean, they would have done.
Can I just bring something in on this story? Lord Kivett, who sponsored Thomas Potts, and this is why Thomas Potts is really critical to all of this, right? He was the one that did the court case for the gunpowder plot.
Really? So he's involved with the gunpowder plot and the Pendle witch story?
Yes.
Ah, that's
and
a bit of a coincidence, isn't it?
Lord Kivett's nephew, great nephew, he was the one what did Thomas Potts' will, and he found that Thomas Potts was in debt by 999 quid.
That's a lot of money back there.
In today's money is something like 133,000.
So Thomas Potts, we'll get on to him, Thomas.
Yeah, so sorry about that. It's just something what...
And they were all arrested, they were all tortured, and they were all sent to Lancaster.
Yeah.
And they were shoved in the well tower, along with old Mother Demdike, Elizabeth Sullins, and her granddaughter Alison. And they'd been there for a couple of months, I should imagine, and Demdike died. She actually passed away there. So they arrested 12 witches.
Yeah.
And one obviously died. And during the trial itself, they were all called into the Lancaster Assizes, and Thomas Potts was the clerk. And he wrote everything down. He minuted everything that was said. And he kind of twisted and put his own little thing in there as well. And they had nobody to represent them. They had nobody to speak for them. They were basically...
So they didn't have a voice?
Yeah, no voice. They were condemned before they'd even gone in there.
Yeah.
And on 20th of August, they were taken up to Gallows Hill and they were hung for witchcraft, except for one.
Yeah.
There were 10 hung for witchcraft, men and women, except for Margaret Pearson from Padiham, and she was humiliated in the stocks around every small village round here. She was there for a good week.
Yeah.
She could be belted with stuff, but unfortunately the others weren't that lucky. They were all hung on the 20th of August in 1612 on Gallows Hill in Lancaster. Now it's a memorial park. It's Williamson's Memorial Park. But the tale's sad, and it's absolutely full of corruption.
Yeah.
Misogyny, hatred, intolerance. I mean, Demdike's family itself, James were a slate short of the roof. You know, he weren't full shilling. Alison, I don't think she was full shilling. Little Janet either. With no schooling, they've been thrown up, not brought up.
You just see the moon now, look. It's just breaking now up there. You know where the fence is here?
Yeah.
And that moon's just breaking now. See it? So I know I mentioned this already, but obviously when you see a full moon at Pendle, it's always something special. This is obviously another great visit to Pendle, something different, but it is something for you on the way back. So we just go back to the car, yeah, and Matthew's dashboard says this. It says 1111, and it's never said that. 1 second, let me fucking see if I can get a better shot.
That's hard to catch it on that. What's the chances of catching that like that?
That's fucking mad, and that's never happened.
Never ever.
Never happened. That's fucking madness, that. So that's the end of the video. I'm going to finish on the 11111, whatever it is, when I get back to the car. So that definitely is the longest video I've ever made. So yeah, it's definitely the end of the video now. Another great visit to Pendle, like I said. And hopefully we'll be back again sometime soon to do some more Pendle Hill stuff. See you